being a kid and growing up as an athlete, my dream was to always play in the major leagues for baseball. And I share that dream with a lot of other kids. And as you can tell, I'm giving a speech in a comms class, so that's probably not happening. But luckily, I live my dream through my friend Mauricio Andre Dubon. Mauricio plays for the Boston Red Sox organization as a shortstop for the AA Portland Sea Dogs. This is Mauricio. This is my Mauricio grew up in San Pedro Sula, Honduras, and he came to America, more specifically Sacramento, which is where I'm from, when he was 16 years old to play baseball. He's from a very poor family in a very poor area, which made it really hard for him to learn the game of baseball and also practice the game of baseball. Not to mention in Honduras, they mainly focus on soccer, so not many people were interested in his career. I'd like to inform you all on the path Mauricio took to get to the point where he is today and how much harder it is for someone like him to make it to the pros than someone who's more fortunate. I believe I'm fit to talk about Mauricio's journey because he lived with me for 6 months and we obviously spent a lot of time together where I heard a lot of stories firsthand. First, I'd like to tell you guys about how much harder it is for a player like him to go from where he came from to where he is. In San Pedro Sula, it's a very poor area where there's not very many bats, balls, gloves, pretty much the essentials that you need to play baseball with. For example, Mauricio's dad once told me that to practice turning double plays, his dad would throw tree branches at him to get him to jump out of the way so he could avoid runners when turning a double play, which is obviously much different than America. And so my dad threw a branch at me, I'd probably cry. And Mauricio also told me that when he would practice, instead of having a glove, he would use paper plates, put them together to try field it. He would use tree branches for a bat and then rocks for balls, which is obviously much different than America. Not to mention they don't have cleats, batting gloves, helmets, anything like that. Mauricio actually has a scar on his face because he got hit with a rock in the head. And so he's trying to become the first native-born Honduran player to play in the major leagues. And according to SoxProspects.com, he has a good chance if he stays healthy because he has smooth hands and a raw talent. Mauricio does not have a very firm grasp of the English language, which can affect his draft spot and his signing bonus, which it did. This is according to Baseball America because professional teams know players like that don't have an option after high school, so they wait on them and then they draft them way lower in the draft. Mauricio obviously did not like that because he felt like he should have got drafted higher, and he told the general manager of the Red Sox, "You paid for a horse, but you got a Ferrari," which you don't really say that to a general manager of a team who just drafted you, but he did. So next I'd like to tell you a little bit about the path he took to get to where he is today. Like I said, he grew up in Honduras, and he came to America when he was 16 to start his junior year of high school. I've never really learned the English language before. A coach of a private high school named Capital Christian High School went to Honduras to recruit him to come play baseball in America. Mauricio said, even after growing up in a hard place like Honduras, leaving my mom was the hardest part because he had to leave everything behind. He played 2 years of high school baseball, and then college was not an option for him due to his lack of grasp in the English language. He then got drafted by the Boston Red Sox and signed for $175,000. Now that he's drafted, how he's doing today is the third thing I'd like to tell you. He's currently at spring training right now with the Boston Red Sox, with the major league guys, which is a good experience for him because this is the first time he's practicing with the big league guys, and it's experience he can take a lot from. In his 3 years since he got drafted, he's moved up the ranks rather quickly. He started in instructional ball, and then he went to rookie ball, and then he went to low A, then he went to A ball, and then he went to high A, and now he's in double A. So the only steps left is double A and triple A, and then he'll be in the big leagues, hopefully. Not gonna win. In his 3 years since he was drafted in 2013, he's been selected a 2-time minor league all-star, and he's currently the 15th ranked prospect for the Boston Red Sox. As stated by the current shortstop for the Boston Red Sox, Xander Bogaerts, no one will work harder smarter than this kid, and don't sleep on him because he'll impress you one day. In conclusion, Mauricio has truly been a blessing to me and my family because we were really fortunate, and I was really fortunate growing up. And he showed me how much harder it is for someone like him to make it, and how much heart that kid had. Just really impressed me. And hopefully one day you guys will all see him on TV, and then you'll remember my presentation.